I was not a good person. Married men were awesome. You could have a relationship, nobody told you what to do, and they'd have to go home. There wasn't anything that I hadn't done. If you hit the 10 Commandments, I did them all, every one of them, including murder, really murder. When you have 2 abortions, which I did.
At the time, Karen Reagle didn't even think about it. The only thing on her mind was her next drink.
Every time I drank, it was to drink and get drunk, not just to drink, you know, have a cocktail. Literally, I was blacking out by the time I was 18. There wasn't anything about myself that I liked.
There was just a lot of anger. It started brewing when Karen was a child.
There was a babysitter who did really horrible things to me. There was an uncle that did things that were wrong. My father left when I was 5 years old. I literally followed him out the door, got on my 3-wheeled bike and followed him down the road. He had to pick me up and bring me back and put me in the house. And he told me that night, I'll be here to pick you up tomorrow, because I was a daddy's girl. I didn't really get along with my mother. And the next day he didn't come and get me.
It was 3 years before she finally got to go live with her dad. But even that had its challenges. Now Karen had to compete with her stepmom for her father's attention.
I think I took all those things and said, I'll do what I want when I want. And I wanted to be bad. I wanted to hurt people the way that I'd been hurt. And what I didn't understand is I was hurting myself.
There were lots of suicide attempts.
And had my stomach pumped at 16, slit my wrist at 18. It was torment to be on this earth.
Karen thought getting married and having a baby was the answer, but it just made things more difficult. Alcohol destroyed her first marriage. Her addiction got so bad that Karen even neglected her baby girl.
Once in a while, if it was early enough, I'd call the girl across the street or the girl next door and say, look, Caitlin's sleeping. I'm going to be right down the road. They knew where I was going to be.
Then Karen married Ronnie. Things started to fall apart when he asked her to stop drinking.
I wanted him out of my life because no one was going to tell me what to do or ask me or care or anything else.
One night after a big argument, Karen almost blew her head off with her husband's shotgun.
I tried to put my foot in the trigger of the gun. I had both barrels in my mouth. And I was holding, I was trying. I was just too drunk to do it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go to sleep and give me a few minutes and then...
And then Ronnie found her, passed out with his gun pointing directly at their daughter's bedroom. It was a close call that night, not just for Karen, but for her little girl.
Then 9/11 happened, and my husband felt very called to go to church. He was like, you're going to church. I'm like, I'm not going to church. He's like, you're going to church. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Ronnie won, and Karen went to church, but very reluctantly. Then, after a few Sundays,
I went and I sat down in the pew, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go out and be a pew warmer, you know. So the music starts, and I'm just like, la, 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 la. And it was all of it, but as soon as like, it's the shout to the Lord. And I got real quiet. All I heard that day was, Karen, come to me. I don't know what even possessed me, but I got up and I went to the altar and I got on my knees. It was the first time in my life that I said, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. I only know this life. I don't know a life without drinking. I don't know a life without everything that I'm going through. And again, come to me and I will love you. And I said, okay, I love you. The day that I accepted Jesus Christ, I went home and I sat on my porch and I had like maybe 3 or 4 beers, you know, but I didn't get drunk that night. But it was just like I kept saying, I've got to let this go.
With the help of God and some people at her church, Karen was able to give up alcohol altogether.
I haven't touched it, and it's been 5 years. Now my favorite thing is to sit on my porch, talk to my hummingbirds, read my Bible, and drink coffee. The hope and the peace that lives and dwells in me now, I can't even describe it. It just is there, and it takes over. I mean, I wake up in the morning, it's thank you, Jesus, for the life that I have, what you've given me. I have had things that I have never had in my life. I have a home, I have a husband who adores me, I have children who love their mother. most of all, I have love in my heart, which I never had. There's a box out there, and every sin that I've ever committed, I could pull out, pick one out, and his name is written on it and says, forgiven. He took dirt from the road and made a vessel. Every chain that ever held me is gone. The only chain that there is now is really not a chain, it's a yoke. And I am yoked with Jesus Christ. My man is right here.